Hello and welcome
Hello.
everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. This is Livestream with Restream, and we are super excited to share our spring updates for 2026. How are you today?
You've changed sides. I'm good. You're normally over there, aren't you?
Yeah,
I'm good, thank you. A little tired today and a bit of a headache, but I'm hydrating. How are you doing?
Good. Also hydrating and really actually super hyped up about talking to all of you about all the cool things that we've been cooking and all the new updates that we want to share and we built for you. So we went a little brave with the spring themed countdown. But if you loved it, you know that you can find it among our default countdown timers that you can use in the studio. So it's actually available for everyone. So you can have it on your next show if you want to. For those of you who are new, my name is Anya. I lead product marketing at Restream, and joining today with me is Charles. He is our lead video producer. You see him a lot on YouTube, I'm sure, in tutorials and shorts. And this is basically a Q&A, so we'll share some updates that we prepared. But mostly we want to hear from you, get your questions, answer anything you'd like to know. We welcome your feedback, any feature requests. We will direct you to where are the best places to submit them if you really want them to go directly to our product team. But this is really casual conversation where we would love to kind of get your thoughts and ideas and opinions about things. Real quick housekeeping. We are continuing to grow our YouTube channel. And if you are watching us on YouTube today, please be sure to subscribe and like. We really appreciate that. We are live today on 22, I believe, or more. It's kind of hard to tell because we have vertical and horizontal channels.
I mean, we push the limits of multi-streaming. I'm always fascinated by that.
It is truly unbelievable. We have over 20 paired channels. Our whole team, again, is rebroadcasting our show today. So big thank you to all of you. Some hearts are going to fly your way because you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for pairing your channels and rebroadcasting it. That's also something you can do if you're using Restream Studio. You can invite your guests, collaborators, your teammates to add their channels and rebroadcast your events like we're doing right now. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're watching us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, X, or Facebook, one of those channels, still give us a like, give us a follow. We would really appreciate that. And that will allow you to never miss the next show. We're live every Wednesday, so thanks for hanging out with us today. Let's have a look at our chat. We have Twitch. Someone paired their Twitch. I love that.
That's great.
I love it. Yeah, that's absolutely excellent. So I'm going to call out a few folks here. So let us know, by the way, where in the world are you watching from? What kind of content you typically stream, so we can tailor some of the things that we are working on and some of the announcements to your use cases, if we can. So let us know what kind of content you stream, what industry, maybe any examples. Are you a music radio station, or maybe you're a marketer doing launches and product updates like we do here? Maybe you're primarily streaming gaming or news or anything else. And of course, where geographically. Always good to know. I'm going to call out a few comments here because it's really interesting. So Clubs Crap, great name. I always adore your creativity, guys. I literally stumbled upon this live 1 minute before it's going on air. Yeah, you did. And welcome to our show.
Club Scrap. Is that Club Scrap?
Club Scrap, yeah, hopefully. Because it's a tricky way how you break those letters, right? Right on time, says Nick. Very good to see you. Thank you, Grant. There's a paired comment at work right now, but I'll pull it up with my crew next stream. That is awesome. Good morning, good afternoon. Let's go. Restream, says Charts Fanatics Live. That's awesome. On YouTube.
Chart Fanatics Live. Yeah.
Done. Subscribe. Thank you so much. It means a lot for us. Every subscribe, every new like, and every new person in our community matters. I had some chili last night and I woke up. Okay. Turned into, okay, cool. Sloppy Joes. Good stuff. Fish Fam is always here. I love that you guys are always joining. This is so cool to feel appreciate it and see like people come back over and over again. This is just totally unbelieving.
Feels like you have like another friend group,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Waiting for Danger Zone to turn up.
Oh, I'm sure. I actually looked up his channel yesterday because I was like, I really want to see, because I feel like, yeah, we see he joins all the time. So I found the channel, and now I know how he looks.
It's sports. It's sports football, right?
Yes, absolutely. So this,
Yeah.
okay, so it's Club Scrap, and it's a paper crafting company in Wisconsin. I love that.
Way.
That is so
That's brilliant.
cool.
I'm going to check
That's
that
so
out.
cool.
I love
yeah.
that.
Well, let us know what you stream. Do you do like kind of like behind the scenes, do it yourself type stuff, or promotional stuff, announcements? Yeah, that's really cool.
I mean,
Alex,
second camera stuff there.
yeah, that
Top
like
down
shows
camera.
how the stuff is produced. Alex Bichok, our head of product, is joining in today saying, hi, we have a piece of information that you posted recently as our Twitter news updates today. So stay for that. Live trading as type of content
right.
you're streaming. This is really cool. We love that because a lot of recent updates, especially the updates that we did in the last 6 months, are very, very cool for this type of content. We have multiple screen shares now. We have opportunities to scroll and zoom as you screen share. So I'm sure you guys are enjoying all those things because
there are a couple of things boiling in the background that we can't talk about that I think I've had a little play with recently that would be quite nice for that particular live stream.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. Nick is saying this is when I switch sources, vertical and landscape all match up. Okay, yes, dual streaming when you have multiple, when you have horizontal and vertical stream at the same time, and you have two people, two guests, or some media. Yes, our vertical version adjusts, so you basically get like good look no matter what you do. That's awesome. Max is saying hello from Bulgaria. I believe this is our Max, the Max who is sending all the emails from Restream to you. So that's the guy. Good to see you there. Been using Restream to live stream my podcast for the last 2 years now. Love the platform and makes it easy to do what we do. This is Life with Anime podcast. This is absolutely amazing to hear. My niece is like obsessed with anime, so I love that. Yeah,
I grew up watching a bit of anime. Definitely,
yeah.
I'm not less into it now, but now one of my kids is definitely into it.
Yeah, I think there's a specific age for that when it's like really appealing. Even though I watched all the Naruto episodes when I was 35 or 33. And had a blast. So maybe there's no age. Maybe it's just the mindset.
Yeah, I don't think. I think one of the things we're going to touch on this. I think one of the things about anime is it's really about narrative and storytelling. They have these fantastic story arcs, and I think that's. We'll touch on this later, but what it looks like was only the sort of gateway. The actual narratives in them is what really resonates with people, and I think that those are stories that are. Appropriate and pervasive for all human, for all human existence.
Totally.
Like music, do you know what I mean? Like people often, like, what kind of music do you like? If you don't say, I like all kinds of music, then you are missing out, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I hear you, definitely. Nice t-shirt, Anya. The Restream Sardines Camp, one of my favorites last year. Absolute blast and honor to be part of. You were part of it too, virtually. So it was,
I'm confused by the name. I feel like there's something missed in translation. I don't know.
Sardines? Because Portugal, because it was in Portugal and Lisbon, and sardines is like their main thing. There were also some references that in Restream office in Portugal, there's not a lot of space, and when all these people came in to do the hackathon and boot camp, it became Sardinish in the office, but it was more of an internal joke. Primarily, it was supposed to just reference Portugal as a destination, but yeah, that's pretty fun.
So it does translate then. It did.
Yeah. No, it's brilliant. It's absolutely.
I didn't know that was one of their exports. Those sardines, I love.
Yeah. Sardines is the main thing. Chicago here for gaming podcast. Really awesome. Very fun. Just starting. And okay, how are you? I have a question to ask on how many platforms can you record for free? So. Your recording starts as our standard plan, and how many platforms you go to doesn't matter because you get a recording on your Restream account, right? If you want to get local recordings, so basically record on local devices of you or your guests, you will need a professional plan. But how many platforms you live stream does not necessarily influence your recordings. So recordings in general, cloud recordings unlock on standard, and recordings locally on your devices for you and your guests is a pro plan.
Can I clarify what local
Yeah.
recordings is there? Is
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
the clean, the absolutely 100% clean version, like what what your camera is outputting gets, it's sort of saved locally and then uploaded to the Restream servers so that you get that clean in the highest possible quality, rather than you getting the clean feed that's been through the Restream studio.
Yeah.
So while it's local, we call it local recording because it's difficult. There's a difficult naming convention there in that it's basically recorded locally and then uploaded. So it's not like standalone piece of software.
Yeah.
It's my favorite thing about Restream. Can I just say, I use it every single week when doing the post-production on this show. Grant, who you'll see in the chat, and I do the cut down together. Grant does the main legwork, and the most incredible thing about it is he and I can both download the media. We can both start working on the show. We can share a project file in our editing software, and I don't need to send him files. He can download it. It's been such a game changer, and I wish I'd had it when I first started using Restream. It was one of those things I was banging onto you, Anya, about. Like,
I know, it was one of our biggest releases of last year, and I'm still happy every day, like how like the quality of our post-production and repurposed content went up like 10x, like it's dramatic change. So definitely,
really
if you're doing podcasts and then you're transitioning into any kind of best of short clips, anything like that, then that's a must-have, absolutely.
And it comes like, sorry, I'm sorry, it comes with XML files. So you drag that into your editor, and everything comes in, all aligned perfectly, so that you've got any screen shares and things like that. The only thing it doesn't bring is things that you may have uploaded, like any videos or any photos that you have uploaded. It will assume you already have. So why give those again?
Yeah.
Hello, you're moving us around. I love that. Nice.
I don't know. I mean, I think something.
I guess that's Becca, our producer, is like, you're on the wrong side. Oh, there we go.
Here we go. Yeah. So.
Anyway, sorry, I'm such a big fan.
No worries.
No worries. Recordings. Because I do a lot of post-production. So anyone that's recording a podcast, it's an absolute must-have. And, recording a podcast live, which is kind of what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, totally.
Have I had too much coffee?
Anya, are you from the Netherlands? I am not, but it's a good guess. It's a very common guess to locate me. So keep guessing. I'm gonna reveal this in the end of the stream, so you guys all stay to. Yep. Greetings from Berlin, Germany. Hi, that is also close to home. Very cool. I like to learn how to set up the vertical view settings within OBS using Restream. We do have a guide for you, and I'm sure Grant is going to share it in the chat. There is a video guide that talks about a Restream plugin for OBS and how that would work. And Grant, if you can share, that would be awesome. It's very easy and also free, which is amazing.
OBS has done an update recently, so what that looks like since I made that video, it actually looks slightly different. They've changed the audio mix and things I was noticing the other day, but all the information still stands.
But the steps are still there. Maybe a little extra testing just to make sure. I like how you overlay the chat onto your video screen. I'm guessing that's a feature of the program. Yes, that is what you can do in Restream Studio. It's called Chat Overlay or Show Chat on Stream. You can actually do a lot of things with it. Let me demonstrate real quick how I can. I'm going to actually resize it just a little bit here and show you that.
Mark side bottom cross. Hello from the UK. Where in the UK?
Where in the UK? Charles must know. For reasons you will never guess, right? So
being from the Netherlands.
So basically, you can put it anywhere on the screen, and you can even make it a separate box. Like, I personally love showing it on top of everything, right? But you can separate it like this and basically dedicate like a special area for it. But I prefer to have it overlaid completely over the video. Hopefully not Charles' face. Yeah. But that is how we do it. It is part of the Restream Studio features, and it is completely free. So check it out.
Can I just say, Nick Moses is saying that he... Can I bring this up?
Yeah.
If I bring this up?
You can, yeah.
Here you go. Look, he's saying, I edit my podcast each week using Premiere, as do I. And simply download the file, begin editing. Very easy to do. So if you're using local recordings, then you know exactly what I mean. And if you are using, Premiere professionally like that, then you know why I'm so delighted by this. Because it gives you options. It gives you So very frequently, so when someone doesn't, a lot of people don't want to be on a live show just in case they mess up. So in a previous role, we would record live so that all of the audience would get that live experience. We would then take that live show down and I would edit the podcast and the guest would say, I said this thing, I divulged this, I said that. And I would be like, no problem, we can take that out. We're not a gotcha kind of podcast. And so it means that you can actually go through and just, trim. And then the beauty of Restream is, of course, you could then play that out live as well with upload and stream. You play that podcast out live, you get a double dip on the live stream.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love this question. Do you have to set up Instagram and Telegram every time making your Restream? We do have a guide on how to connect Instagram to your Restream literally today. So just do not hang up. Stay with us for another maybe 15 minutes as we go through a few more chats, and then we will get to our main program. We'll probably skip a lot of our news today, or maybe we'll come back to them later, because I definitely want to make sure that we show our...
Captain Chatty over here can't stop talking. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Studio has been always getting great updates, great customer service. Thank you so much. This means the world to us. We have 24/7 live support with real humans in our chat for all our customers, free and paid. And that is something that we're very proud of. That's not a standard for tech companies these days. A lot of people will ask you to create a ticket, wait, email, things like that, or just delegate this whole process to AI. We don't. We have real streaming experts there ready to help you, onboard you, troubleshoot with you. So use it if you can. And definitely, whenever we hear this great feedback about our customer service and our technical support agents, it is music to my ears. I think those folks have absolutely, they're doing an amazing job and they are on the front lines. So they're our heroes. So thank you for your service, guys. You're the best. And thanks for sharing your feedback, because that makes it all make sense. If that sounds right, if that's even English, right? But thanks for answering my question. Wanted to know if Restream is working on a way to integrate YouTube Twitch alerts for subscribers, super chats, and gifted subs. We are definitely on the way. So browser source type integrations that allow you to basically receive all that information directly in Restream is something that we are actively working on. It is on our roadmap for 2026. It's not yet live, but we are working on that. So it's a great question. Thanks for asking.
And a lot of these things are API and platform specific.
Yeah.
We would give you everything, but these things need to be released by those platforms, just like the way that Instagram works.
Well, right, but the browser source
the
browser source is more on us, because it's basically allowing you to connect any web page, anything on the internet, like bring it into Studio. So, but there are some technical intricacies there. It's a little bit easier to do when you're working with desktop applications such as OBS. That's why all those alerts are already there and have been there forever. But with browser-based, with Studio, it's a little bit trickier, because you basically have to bring something from browser into our browser-based Studio. So there are some details in there, but it is definitely our priority. It is on the roadmap, so stay tuned for that. Hello from Windy, England. It is there a way to adjust the camera in portrait mode? So you can't really like move it if that's what you're asking. So you have to, it will automatically adjust the layout for you. You do have a few layouts that you can play with. For example, if you are watching us on mobile right now, I can show you how.
You see how it's focusing on the center. So we will tend to frame our cameras centered, and then the mobile view will react dynamically to whatever you're putting on screen. So the camera's not.
Yeah, but so there are a few things you can do. Like, so for example, you can kind of like create a different shape there. So that helps a little bit. You can definitely like change the position of people, but you can't really like completely freehand design the cropping of your camera for vertical version. Not yet. All right, good stuff. I am going to show this I love Restream comment as our final one, and then we are going to go through a few updates that we recently shared. However, I did promise that I will show what Albichok, our head of product shared on Twitter, so I'll take this one real quick. So he was playing with this tool called Paper, and he did this little snapshot how you can basically clone almost any website in seconds and make edits to it. And this is how it looks if you play, if you show like the video where he's playing with it. So this is our homepage, right? Like Restream's website. And he basically got it into Paper, and now he can go and like he can edit things, he can change the lines, he can change the logos, he can add different things and buttons. So basically every element on the website, on the web page is editable. And I think in his tweet or post on X, proper say to say it, he says like this should be illegal. And I think this is an interesting conversation of what, I mean, on one hand, it is really unbelievable ability, right? Like that you can take any website that you can think of, Apple, Google, whatever, and you can actually like play with those elements. But on the other hand, like it still means that you have to have an idea, you have to have a vision, right? Because you can't just copy and clone someone's website and benefit from that, because that's not going to work. So I think it does show that the world is speeding up in terms of what you can do creatively, but it also is a great reminder that authenticity in creativity, the 100%. Place that live streaming dominates is still is going to be more and more important. What do you think, 100%. Charles?
Yeah, so two things spring to mind on this. One, so for someone like myself, it's fabulous in that you could basically rip an entire website and then use those elements in order to help make videos. So you can bring those files into something like Figma and treat them and separate them into layers. Then I can bring that into After Effects and animate them. So it's a fabulous tool. It does have implications on just being able to rip off a website and create a scam clone. So trust and audience connection. If people, like, who are you going to buy crypto from? Like, there are going to be certain creators that you'll be like, I don't know if I trust this person in order to buy some crypto. But then there will be other creators that if they were to say, hey, would you want this crypto? You'd be like, oh, actually, if this person's involved in it, this might be legit. And this could be just that small step into, that gateway to gaining your trust. So you need to make sure that you are consistent in the way that you are speaking with your audience, and that you are letting them know where you are, what platforms you're on, and how they can find you, and maintain something that is very, you have a tone about you so that you can't be replicated, and so that you have your own unique sort of standing in a community, and therefore people will sniff out anything that's fake. The other thing is, again, this is just a tool. It's a tool like any other. If you are a creative, then that will shine through. So it doesn't worry me too much, but I don't know if this particular thing doesn't infringe upon what it is that I do. Not so much.
Yeah, no, I thought it was really interesting. And I mean, there's so many tools that are popping up all the time. I was playing with Claude's coworker yesterday and blew my mind. Probably a topic for another time. But I was just kind of like, wow, I can't believe this thing is allowed to do these things. But so we want to start.
I was going to say just one last point is that speed is becoming a weapon now.
Yeah, definitely.
These tools allowing you to move much, much quicker. And so that's going to have to be part of what you're doing, and live streaming is a perfect way. If you have a weekly podcast, that's great, but if you're going live daily or weekly and there's news, you can fit into that news cycle very quickly. If there's a release of a product or whatever, I think that speed is also, speed isn't only about the news now. Speed is also about all areas
building, creating, producing
of entertainment. Right.
The world is speeding up, that's for sure.
You can log on to onto a streaming service and you get the entire series that you can binge, rather than having to wait each week. You know what I mean? Like, I think people are becoming increasingly expectant of things being immediate.
So on to our updates. Please continue sharing your questions and asking things. We will come back and respond to a few questions. I can see questions about AI clips and how they're different from the competitors. We will definitely take those, as well as about the one about SRT, a protocol into Studio. But just to make sure that we share the very, very cool updates that we've done today, we are going to first show you the improved dual format streaming. So we did change a little bit the flow, and we think we made it much better. So we reduced a few clicks, and now when you stream on horizontal and vertical platforms at the same time, it is a little bit more intuitive and a little bit more user-friendly. This is rolling out as we speak, so some of you might already have this version, some of you might be getting that within the next week. But for those who are completely new to dual format streaming, Restream allows you to go in landscape or horizontal mode to some channels, such as LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, for example, and the same exact stream will go in vertical mode to platforms like Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and many others. You can basically choose the orientation per platform, or you can go in two orientations on the same channel, which is what we're doing right now. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can find a vertical and a horizontal version of this same stream. So this is how.
Make one point.
Yeah,
I think for me, these changes represent how the landscape of streaming is changing. That vertical and horizontal isn't a choice; it's sort of the default. We sort of touched on that last week, but I think that this is a sort of a Restream's reaction to. Actually, this should be the default. It should be much easier rather than people having to choose which one or maybe both. It's pretty obvious that it's expected now that it will be both.
Let's see this default in action.
Dual streaming just got even easier. So a quick update, we've been dual streaming from the studio for a while now, and the team decided to make it even simpler. Now you won't see this little orientation selector anymore because, well, you don't need it. So as you can see, you automatically get vertical and horizontal previews, and just click on add channels to, add channels. And then you can choose which platforms get which orientation. Then go live just as usual, and the guests and the layouts will, of course, adjust automatically. And whether you are streaming to both or only one orientation, you can hide and bring back each preview. I'm going to link to the other tutorials down below because there's still more detail in there, and let us know what you think. Cheers.
Good stuff. So yeah, basically to sum this up, the major change is that you used to have a button that would basically tell you how to choose the orientation. Now you by default get both, and you can kind of play with previews, minimize them or maximize them. But by default, the moment you enter into Restream Studio, you immediately see those two versions, and then you can assign channels to them, which we encourage you to do because as we showed in our last show on analytics, we did have a lot of new views and like massive growth on the vertical channels from vertical feeds. So we literally tested on our own channels, and we encourage and inspire you to do the same. Good stuff. Now on to the Instagram questions. And I know you guys are continuing to add questions. I can see our producer Becca is saying lots and lots of questions today. I promise after we show you a few more updates, we will take your questions because this is a Q&A and your questions, feedback, and points are the most important thing of the show. But we do want to update you on how to stream on Instagram while we're on this topic of multi-streaming in vertical and horizontal. For the longest time, when Instagram first launched, the integration with third-party platforms to go live onto Instagram other than through the app. It was quite difficult, and I was personally hesitant, and I didn't really go live on Instagram for Restream for a long time. But since we started this regular show and since we launched dual output, it became a thing that I do all the time. So you can see if you scan, I need Charles's hand to do that. Scan this QR code or simply find Restreamio on Instagram. You will see us live there right now.
I can scan it myself.
Yeah, you can scan it. I think it first takes you to the browser, but then you can transition to the app from there. And you can see us live there. You can see how the vertical format actually adjusts our layout, which is super cool. There are a few extra steps with Instagram. It's not as simple as just toggle, like it would work for other channels like YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and X, and LinkedIn. But trust me, it's so worth it. And Charles prepared a very cool guide to help you out and walk you through all the steps.
Almost 80% of interactions on Instagram come from people who don't follow you yet. And going live is one of the fastest ways to grow and get discovered there. The catch is that they don't make live streaming very easy. But you know who does? Restream makes it easy to multi-stream on Instagram. There are a couple of hoops that Instagram will make you jump through before you can start live streaming. You need at least 1,000 followers and to have a professional account, which in your Instagram account settings is just a few checkboxes and choices. With that taken care of, let's go live. On a computer, use a web browser to log in to Instagram and click Create, then Live Video. Give your stream a title, and set your audience and then copy the stream key. Important, don't close this page while streaming. It will end the stream. So in another tab, head to the Restream Studio, go to Channels, add Instagram and enter your Insta username, and then paste in that stream key. That stream key is a one-time use only. Every time you go live or if you close that Instagram page, you're gonna need to get a fresh one. Now, when you're ready, go live on Restream. All your other channels will connect and go live, but you will now need to head to that Instagram page where after a pause, a preview will appear, where you can then hit go live. Having a couple of minutes countdown at the beginning of every live stream will give you the time for setting this up. And when you're wrapping up at the end of the stream, end it on Instagram first before ending in the Restream Studio. This stops Instagram from showing like a frozen screen, thinking that it needs to keep trying to connect to Restream. Look, we know this is kind of quirky and honestly, we really wish it wasn't. Maybe if enough creators reached out to Instagram, they'd smooth out this process for everyone. Anyway, I'll link the help center below, and if you found this helpful, give us a like and subscribe, because that really helps me. Cheers.
I love this. There have been a few videos where it's becoming all about you, Charles, as I noticed. The other one also has a nice hook about you. But yeah, so I just actually went to our Instagram tab. You'll find out. Yeah, I was just looking at the Instagram chat and I posted a few comments from Restream page there as well. So it's not as easy as interacting with chat directly in studio. You have to transition between two tabs, but it is totally possible. If like chat is super important, you can actually jump between the tabs. Or a lot of times, if it's just basically the content that goes out, you know, it's so much better to still capture that audience there. I cannot tell exactly how many people are watching right now, but I see like dozens and dozens of comments. So I see even Not Phil Sledge is saying hello from Instagram. There are a few comments there. People are watching on both countdown scenes. Yeah, like so I see the comments. I can see you guys. You know, I love Restream, so it's like really cool to see folks on Instagram and they're all getting this message. So
I think the way that I look at this,
yeah.
I'm sorry. The way that I look at this, it's a little bit like how it used to be with OBS, where you had to just copy the stream key and paste it in, and it was an RTMP feed, and you know, it's a little bit archaic, but it works very well. It's easy to do. It just seems complicated.
Yeah, totally.
It's just having to do it every time. The stream keys. It's safer that your stream key is one-time use, you know, because I showed it in the video. Mm-hmm. That stream key is gone now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't use it. So.
Yeah, I would say it is definitely, you have to form that habit, because I would say the most difficult thing is that this whole like setup process needs to happen not earlier than 4 hours before you go live, preferably less, because the stream keys expire very quickly. So if you're going to go live for like 2 hours, it's probably better if you grab that stream key approximately like 2 hours before you go live, right? And then that allows you to make sure that it's going to be valid through your show. So it is a little bit kind of like, you know, you have to set some reminders. But once you get in the cadence of that, like I don't have issues with this anymore because I do it every time and it just became part of my checklist, mental and physical. So
there you have a checklist. Good.
Checklist.
Good.
Yeah, totally.
Big checklist fan. Checklist manifesto crew.
Yeah, I can see your questions, guys. We are going to get into them in just a minute. There's one more update that is super important that I really want to share with you. And this is about our new video storage. So I'm just going to get us to this page real quick where we have this Instagram QR code. So if you want to see us on Instagram Live right now and actually see how this landscape layout transitions into vertical, you can do it by scanning the QR code. And in the meantime, we'll be transitioning into our new topic, which is our updated video storage. So video storage is where your videos, stream recordings after you're done streaming, video uploads that you upload in order to schedule streams to go live, or simple video clips like the one that I just showed you about Instagram, or the one that we're about to show you about video storage live, right? Like, so this is your library or your archive of videos, recordings, and short video replays that you are planning to showcase during the stream. So existed for a long time, but we recently reimagined a lot of things about it. It became much more user-friendly. It became much easier and smoother and kind of like more ergonomic. There are a lot of different features that we've been collecting from you guys for many, many months, and now they are all live and available. So let's check out what's new with Restream Video Library or our video storage.
Clean, efficient, and dangerously fast. But enough about me. This is your new look Restream storage. A completely overhauled experience greets you in the Storage tab. It is now faster to find, manage, and repurpose your content, like the recordings of your past streams, the videos that you want to schedule to go live, or the uploads that you play whilst live in the studio, like demos or sponsorship ads. This isn't just a fresh coat of paint. This is a workflow upgrade. Sort by date, name, duration, or size. Hover over any thumbnail for a 5-second dynamic preview. Upload directly. Import from other online services. Download your uploads, which has genuinely saved me time sharing files with team members. You get all the cloud and local recordings in one place with clear expiry dates, so you never need lose a file. Filter with keywords based not only on their names, but how you went live, like vertical streaming or local recording. It's easier than ever to generate clips or a transcript, or make a multi-selection to remove files or schedule them as a live streamed playlist. Whether you're on desktop or mobile, the new player is cleaner and supports keyboard shortcuts. Restream Storage turns your archive into an active asset library, ensuring your best content never goes to waste. Give the new interface a spin and let us know what you think. Cheers.
So yeah, dangerously fast. I'm gonna find a little frame here so folks can still see how this storage looks. Okay, So yeah, this video that I'm replaying right now is literally part of our, so in order to show it in the studio like we are doing right now, we add it to our video library, video storage, and then we simply add it as a media asset into the studio scene, which is by far the best way to show videos and to show demos. Alternatively, you could share your screen or share your local video. So basically say, hey, play the video from my computer in the stream. The quality there is going to be slightly less because basically if you're sharing screen, the quality is just going to be like a screenshot, right? Like capturing your screen. It's not going to be as crisp and perfect as if you just edited that video and uploaded it directly into the stream. And with local video, when the video is already uploaded to our storage, it lives on our servers, so it's not going to buffer, get pixelated, depending on your internet. And when you're showing something locally or sharing your screen, there is a slight possibility of that. So this is the cleanest and the best quality approach to showing your videos in studio during your streams. But of course, storage does a lot more. It stores your recordings. It allows you to generate clips, get transcripts, and of course, schedule previous streams or parts of previous streams or multiple previous streams as playlists to go live, even though they have already happened in the past. So really cool updates, really good stuff. Let us know in the chat if you are using storage and if you have already seen those updates and like what kind of use cases are you primarily focusing on. And Charles, you're still muted. So if you want to say something about video storage, I would love to hear your thoughts. I know you spent a lot of time there as a person in charge of post-production of everything we do. And basically the chief video editor. So yeah, I know that there were certain things that you showed here. Like there was so much clear understanding of this because you were like, oh yeah, like I love this multi-select, I love these things because we do this all the time. So yeah, what stood out to you the most?
I think that just the easy asset management is fantastic. And the thing that for me, the killer feature is that I can use this for sharing assets and that Grant and I can work halfway around the planet from each other and it works perfectly well. He can just download stuff and get going. So the management and the sharing of assets is fantastic. The other thing is, of course, I can be uploading things ready to be put into the studio while someone is in the studio planning. Yesterday, you were in the studio, you were looking at what we were going to do, and I'm uploading things in the background ready to be dropped in. So it's really fabulous for collaboration. And there's a lot of comparison between people draw between what it is that Restream does as a core kind of offering and the alternatives like OBS. And I would say, yes, of course you can do, you can use OBS to do some of the functions, but this is like a full package, it's full studio. And having everything there ready to go in one place makes the production much smoother. It keeps you focused, and not everyone wants to have to piecemeal all of their services together. So I think this is just it's back end. It's not like the sexy bit of Restream, but for someone like myself, it's very useful, it's powerful, and it's very user friendly, and it's great to be able to find things and move things around and share things. So,
I was going to say, I actually slightly disagree, because I was looking at this video, and maybe it's just your magic. I felt like this is a super sexy update, because like the look of this.
Oh, it looks great. No question. Yeah.
It was just like, wow, like all of a sudden, I've spent my fair share of time in Restream storage, trying to record things there, trying to like figure out how to download certain things. Not as much as you, but still, I'm very familiar with that space. And like the changes that we've made and the ease of use, like like even this little tiny detail, such as like you can pre-play the thing, because sometimes
I'm talking about like asset management as a subject.
Well, as a concept, yes, as a concept is not as sexy as like AI generated videos or like
brilliant.
Colorful graphics, for sure. But I felt like this update is actually turning Restream into this full scale content machine, right? Like this content management platform that like kind of does everything, because you literally can go live or record yourself, and then without leaving Restream, multiply that content into, okay, here's my transcript, I'm going to turn this into blog. I'm going to also click here and generate a bunch of great clips. So that's going to be my short form content. I'm also going to download the audio and repurpose that into my podcast. I'm also going to basically look at some of those clips and turn them into quotes or audiograms. So all those things that you can do directly in Restream, basically. Yes, with podcast distribution, you need a few extra steps. Of course, with blog, you need a place that hosts your blog, right? So there are a few different additional items and pieces that you need to have in place. But generally, Restream is basically your one-stop shop for all social media content management, and not only social media, because if you're producing content for your own website or for your internal purposes, Restream gets you covered too. Like it's all solved here. And I felt like this updates in our library and assets management is just kind of like, oh wow, like this starts to look really polished and really pro. So I really enjoyed that. I felt like it was as sexy as it gets to my taste.
The usability, the functionality, and those little details that they've put in, that the devs have put in, and Matt and the team they're just, just where you hover over things and they move in a nice way, and it's very cohesive. It looks and behaves in exactly the way that you feel it should, and that is sexy. Yes, fair enough, fair play.
Fair play. We are going to turn into chat, so if you have more questions, please ask. Now is the time. We basically showed you all the major updates that we wanted to share. There are a few teasers for upcoming streams that are coming up soon, but first, your questions. All right, can we bring SRT to Studio? I assume that you're talking about browser source, when you can basically take a source from SRT source from a different software and bring it into Studio. So then you can do all the cool things here, such as make a dual format, add chats and comments and graphics on top of that, all the great things that Studio is perfect for. So currently it's only RTMP source into Studio, but our producer, Becca, hinted that she looked into our plans and basically like product tickets, and SRT source into Studio is on their list. So it might be coming. We don't necessarily have a timeline just yet, but it is definitely something we're thinking about. It will probably be one of our premium features because it's kind of a professional grade need and use case, but we are looking into that. If you want to reach out to our sales team, that's also something that will help them to kind of push forward to if you're looking at like more custom plans and professional kind of packages. So absolutely. All right, I currently not use Restream Clips. I use another service. What does Restream Clips offer over any competitor. So we kind of had that question before, and I always like to say that I love to compare our offerings to other options. I love to talk about pricing. I love to talk about money. I don't think that we should shy away from those conversations because those are major decision-making factors for you, right? Like, why would you buy something that does less for you or something that does the same thing but costs more? So to me, the major benefit of Restream Clips is, first of all, this whole all-in-one concept that we talked about earlier, right? Just like we showed you in video storage. The fact that you can go live or record, and then directly from your live stream, you already have clips generated, or you can select a specific section of your stream or video and say, hey, clip from here, without necessarily leaving Restream, getting into another tool and just like starting it all over, downloading the video from us, uploading the video there, is already major benefit if you are producing your content on Restream. So just keeping it all in one place is one major benefit. I'm not 100% aware of how other competitor platforms handle the collaboration tools. So I'm assuming there are ways for team members to access your clips in other platforms. But if not, Restream really does a great job there because you can create multiple different workspaces for different types of content. You can share those workspaces with different teammates. So for example, if like me, you have a wonderful chief video producer and a few editors who are helping, it is literally gold that he can immediately go into Restream platform and find those clips and edit them because we can collaborate on those things. Like I can just give him this extra seat.
It also means different people can be doing different jobs at the same time. So while I'm overseeing the post production, you could be reviewing the clips, you can be posting stuff, we can farm that out to someone else.
Absolutely. Another thing that I think makes Restream stand out compared to our competitors is that our pricing is a lot more clear and transparent. A lot of competitors are offering clipping based on credits or minutes of video processed. I honestly do not know what that means. I mean, I can kind of understand that, like, if this stream ends up being 2 hours, which is very possible with our track record, that means that I will be charged, in order to generate clips on certain platforms, I will be charged for 120 minutes of processed video, which will translate into a certain number of credits that those platforms give to me, which is a hell lot of algebra for just a random marketer who just wants to create content and think about cool things and show the product to my community, right? I do not want to do algebra. I want to understand how many clips I can get after however many either streams or months or hours of content, right? So what Restream does is we offer you a subscription tiers that are based on number of clips that you get. So our minimum one, I believe, is 50 clips. Then we have 100 clips, and then we have 250 clips. So if your goal is to generate approximately 100 highlights per month from all the content you produce, whether it's clips that you generate from your live streams or something that you upload and want to clip and kind of like chop up later, like that is what you get. And you can set those limits yourself. You can say, hey, every stream, please make 3 clips for me, or please make 10. You can say, hey, on this specific live stream, I don't want any clips. We're just testing or we're just playing. Or on this specific stream, I want as many as I can. So like you have a lot of controls there in settings, and you have a lot of clarity on what exactly you're buying. And if you run out of clips during that particular month, you can always upgrade. So it's like very simple and like kind of like controlled and like clear environment when it comes to pricing. And of course, last but not least, something that we'll be talking about extensively next week is that Restream allows you live clipping. So not a lot of platforms out there do that, but you can generate clips as you're live. Right now, as we're speaking and as we're broadcasting this, the clips are being generated. And we could actually, if we had a co-producer who would be in charge of that, we could grab them and post them as we're live and funnel people back into the stream. This is exactly what we did last week as we were testing the feature. And this is exactly what we will do next week when we'll be talking exclusively about live clipping. So stay tuned for that and definitely come in, join us next week because live clipping will be the theme. I do not know a lot of platforms that currently allow live clippings. They are essential for news, sports, and any kind of like dynamic podcasts that are talking about things that matter today. So, and of course, as we all know, clips are the best ways to find new fans, to appear in vertical feeds, and to basically dominate those alternative feeds or devices as people watch. So it's the best way to get discovered.
It's like, these vertical and horizontal is becoming the default. You're getting into people's, swipe feeds in a way that you would want to have a nice big sign outside your store to get foot traffic. Think of people on their feeds as the foot traffic, and you've got to have your signpost out there saying, hey, come on in and see what I have to offer. So having those live clips and having your stream going out vertically is you putting yourself out there and capturing that swipe traffic. Hashtag swipe traffic. I think I may have just coined I may have just coined a phrase.
In the sea of scroll, absolutely. Here's a Rumble question. I will preface this with the fact that I'm not a big expert on Rumble. I know we are integrated, so I might have to come back to you to make sure we give you the best answer. We'll be able to embed thumbnails for upcoming Rumble streams. Currently, we can stream to Rumble, but not predefined thumbnails. So I think this is about scheduling. So basically, certain platforms allow you to schedule a stream and say, hey, we're going to be live here on YouTube in 3 days, which is what we do with all of those streams. Currently, there are only 3 platforms that allow scheduling. It is YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So those are the ones where you have to, when you can schedule the stream and basically it allows you to grab a URL and pre-promote that event, which is what we do. If you enter Restream website right now, you will see our little, join us live. We're doing Q&A. Type banner. So that lands into the show that we already pre-scheduled. So currently there are only 3 platforms that do that. The reason is because it depends on the end platform API, right? Like we cannot do that on X, for example, even though we would love to, because X just simply doesn't have the API and the tools for us to schedule this way. I believe that Rumble is in the same boat in that sense. So the best way to get this done is to request that from Rumble. We already have the tech and the process and the workflow to make this happen because we've already done this for YouTube, Facebook, and for LinkedIn. So basically, if that becomes available, we would happily bring that in. The workaround for me on platforms where this is not available, such as X, which is our major platform, is to use the postcard, basically the thumbnail, as a post. I usually post it there, say, hey, we'll be live here at this day, and make sure you join. Not ideal because it's not like the specific URL, it's just another post, but that's a way to pre-promote, if that makes sense. Great question. There are more from you, so we're going to take them all. We do not mind. I love how you say, I hope you don't mind. No, we don't mind. Will you be offering an option to exclude certain streams from analytics? In example, membership-only streams that run exclusively on YouTube for paid members. We will not be able to determine which of your streams immediately are membership only. But in analytics, yes, we will have an option to exclude certain streams. I mean, there will be a way to delete them from your overall history, right? Because we actually ran into this already internally as we started to stream, because sometimes we'll be testing and then our streams will be comparing our analytics and results to a test stream, right? And then it will be like, oh, you had a 2,000 growth in chatters because you guys are real and we're live, versus something that I was testing on one channel is going to basically have no viewers or no chatters. So there will be exclusion of.
You're going to get these weird.
Yeah, so you will be able to exclude things. But will we be able to determine if this is specifically membership-only YouTube, and can we compare membership-only YouTube streams to other membership-only YouTube streams? Probably not yet. Great feature request. I'm going to go ahead and show you a little ideas.restream.io place. This is where we get feature requests. They go directly to our product teams. I look there every day. Our product managers and senior product leads look there every single day. So that is a great feature to submit and a great feature to upvote if it's already there. So thanks for a really, really good question on analytics, our favorite thing. All right. And there is also a question, number 4. Where was number 1? Could you imagine implementing channel groups? So basically predefined sets of channels that we stream to and that can be clicked as on and off as groups instead of individual platforms. I see exactly what you're saying. So basically I can say, so this is my podcast group, right? So my podcast goes to this channels. This is my marketing update stuff. And this is me just chatting with Charles that will feature my personal channels. Or for example, developers would have their own kind of Restream for developers, versus I might create a space where we talk to our customers and do case studies, right? And we basically group the channels like that. It's probably super cool for agencies, right, Charles? If you're actually doing work for customers, you could group them as this is for Restream, this is for Apple, this is for Google, this is for Charles.com.
So in terms of workspaces, you mean?
In terms of like grouping channels. So basically when you say like, I want to enable channels here, I want to enable like these groups. So actually speaking of workspaces, that's probably the best way to achieve it right now.
Right.
So you will need to create, so you'll need to create the workspaces. But I do understand that if you only have one workspace and you're not necessarily an agency like working with different clients, you just kind of like want to create a few like folders with channels for yourself. Like that's not something that we have right now, but workspaces is the best workaround. So if you create a workspace for particular groups of channels, you can achieve that.
Could you not do it with like a studio template? Would it work that way? So you set up a studio and then you just duplicate that and
you can achieve that with studio drafts. So if you create a studio, like a specific studio draft, and then you only enable and add channels there, then you will have to duplicate that for that group all the time. And then you can also, like you can create multiple drafts. It's a little bit more kind of like, okay, so is this draft for that? Like, but we show you, like right now, if you go to our homepage or like channels, it gives you like a lot of really cool visibility of like what channels are where and what streams they are enabled in. So that's another good workaround. I guess what I would be interested to know is like how many channels are we looking at, right? Like if you're just trying to kind of like shuffle and play around with like 5 channels in like different combinations, then stream drafts would probably be the best. But if you're literally working with multiple, like a lot of customers, right? And like you're bringing in a ton of brands and they all bring their own channels, workspaces is definitely a safer way to do it, because in that case, those channels will never get intertwined. Because in the end of the day, if you create multiple drafts, all the channels that you have in your workspace are still going to be available there, right? Like if you want to really, really isolate them, then the workspace is the way to go. Good question. Love it. All right, played with this last week and it worked great. Got my biggest views on YouTube. I guess this is about the dual output. I agree. It's unbelievable how much you get from vertical viewers. And I think that's because of 2 things, right? Because then your stream gets featured in vertical feeds, which normally the landscape stream would not be, so you find new fans. And also because it's so much easier for people on mobile devices to watch vertical, they just stay longer to watch, and that signals to YouTube algorithm that this video is worth watching, and then it continues pushing it more and more into the feeds. So it becomes like kind of like self-fulfilling prophecy or self-feeding cycle. So really good stuff. I'm glad that you tested it, and I'm glad that it worked out for you. It's really good to hear. Awesome. I use storage to upload my YouTube channel to my YouTube channel. It makes it, it's nice to having the storage. Yeah, so you can definitely use YouTube channel as your storage. The difference is that when you stream to YouTube, you can stream in very high quality, but then still it's going to be slightly degraded. Versus in our video storage, you can keep things exactly in the original quality. You can also so like from YouTube, it's a little bit harder to download stuff, I believe. And there's definitely not a lot of repurposing you can do there. You cannot really make clips out of your YouTube video replay, but with Restream you can. So there are definitely pluses and minuses there. But yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're using it. That's really cool. I think we were asking about use cases, like how you guys use it. So that's one of them. Really nice. Is there a way to timestamp a moment in the stream that can be reviewed in the future to clip a short? It's a very common question. It's kind of like different philosophies on like how we think about clipping. So at Restream, we're thinking about AI-powered editing and clipping as we want to take this off of your plate, right? So basically, we want AI to get so good, which is inevitably going to happen, right? As it gets better and better, to actually pick the moments that it knows that are going to work for you before you kind of know it. I know it sounds really weird and kind of like super kind of apocalyptic, strange, but the algorithms and the AIs are getting so good because they can analyze this massive amounts of data that sometimes they are able to pick up the moments that are best for you and for your audience before you can actually figure that out yourself. However, if you do have very strong opinion on what you want to clip, there is a new feature about selecting a section of your stream and clipping from there. So you can select very, very short amount of your stream, even like 5 minutes, and say, hey, clip from here. And that basically will give you like a very good short range for the moment. We don't have a button that says clip now, primarily because we have this idea that we really want to automate it versus creating for you and your editors more manual work while you're streaming. So you can concentrate on your content and your audience versus thinking about what is the best time to click that button. Because there are a lot of buttons you're clicking, right? Like you're probably clicking on chats, you're probably clicking on scenes, you're probably clicking on your music, you're probably clicking on your visuals, right? Like, do you need another button to click? However, if you do, we really appreciate this feedback. I mean, I think it's interesting because, different people see it differently. To me, the fact that it is done automatically is massive value add, but I can see the desire for control. So keep bringing up this feedback if that helps you.
I would use a transcript for that.
That's also a way. Yeah. So if you know the moment, all you need to remember is just a few keywords. And if you simply look at the transcript of your show, you can say, okay, search for the word Charles is talking about himself during live videos, during video guides.
You know that was an accident. I was just making a joke, and it made me laugh. You can see me think of the joke. You can see it in my eyes, and I said it, and I was like, it's funny. It's
I thought it was a great hook.
It's a fun, it's a fairly dry subject. I thought I'd just make something funny in there.
Slick and dangerously fast, but enough about me. Yeah, so I think if you remember just a few of those keywords, you can very easily find that in transcript. And then from transcript, you can easily translate it into the section because the transcripts that you get are timed. They are time-stamped. So you can say, okay, so now when I found this keyword, I know exactly the timestamp. Now I'm going to go into my video and select that for clipping. It's a little bit of extra manual work, but it sounds like you want more control. So you don't seem to be afraid of extra work. For me, clip it automatically. I trust the system.
Well, there are two types, aren't there? That I use a mixture of the two. I love the AI clips because they give me a starting point. I love that they're like, oh, it's found these moments, and then I can go through and I can do what I do because this is. I have that legacy of this stuff. And so I want that full control. But the other thing I will do is I'll be like, oh, there was that chat that came in. I use the chat function to find things that happened in the stream. Like, when did that happen? When did that chat happen? Oh, it was around that time that comment came in. Like I will use all of the tools at my disposal. Have I got that word work? I'm sorry, my brain's melting.
No, that's really good. It's this tool. It's relatively new, so you can actually export all of your chat. So if your stream is very live chat oriented, like ours, like we're very focused on your questions and comments, then exporting chat is a new disposal.
At my disposal, I don't know why. I just had that moment where I'm like, am I about to say the wrong word? We just love having a co-producer and like occasionally in private chat, like some like very helpful hints appear. But this is how you can export your chat from your analytics. And if you happen to drive like a very Q&A community centered live stream, and it's just easier for you to remember, okay, when that person asked that question, that's what I want to clip, then chat export is your friend. Brand new feature, just launched last week, absolutely amazing. And paired with our brand new analytics, there's
chef's kiss.
Sorry. Yes, there were, just while we're talking about chat, someone was asking earlier about chatter names in the chat download, and no, we don't maintain people's usernames and names in those chat downloads for a variety of reasons, but I believe privacy is one of them.
Privacy, yeah. If you can't find this comment, feel free to bring it up. I would love to address that because yes, there is a reason why we, when you go to your analytics and you see chatters there, it says person 1, person 2, person 3. The number 1, will it be possible to see the chatter names in the live chat replay in analytics? I don't get whose privacy this is means to protect since the streams run publicly anyways. Yeah, I hear you. However, there are privacy laws, especially in European Union. They're very strict on those things. And platforms such as YouTube and several others are kind of subscribing to the idea that whatever you type in a live chat with your name in it, you are not necessarily meaning for that to be stored forever. So basically, a lot of people, when they are in the live chat, think of it as like a one-time, like Snapchat type situation that it will disappear once the stream disappears. This is one of the major reasons, actually, why certain platforms do not even allow chat integration with us, right, or with any other platform, is because they are very protective of the privacy of viewers, not necessarily creators, right, who are engaging with content and typing messages. So that is a requirement by law for tools that function in the European Union, which is us. And also I hear what you're saying, right? Like, because technically you could just screen record everything that happens on your chat, and some platforms like YouTube actually allow you to replay chat on YouTube platform itself. Mm-hmm. But I do believe that there are certain requirements that they themselves have to meet. Once it's staying within the same platform, I guess it's okay according to some regulations. But once it starts leaving the platform and becomes data available to us and to other creators, like that becomes kind of like this like shady area. So this is literally just a regulation thing, but it also so it allows us to be compliant with it, but it also gives a little bit more, I guess, peace of mind to people who are chatting that their privacy will be protected in a way. But I understand that there's like different way of looking at that, right? Like everything you put online on the internet, you should be prepared to it stop being private. Right. But yet there is this kind of like constant battle between like what privacy means and like should people be at least aware of what they're agreeing to in the world where no one reads blueprints and
you
AI
should take a
going live.
Right. You should take a pause like before you put something on the internet for a variety of reasons. You know, and so I'm a bit conflicted on this. I think that in one respect, should this data, which it is, be ethically sourced, which would be anonymized, or ethically sourced data is a wonderful phrase that I learned years ago. And should this be ethically sourced data, and therefore anonymized, or should people be held accountable? And hey, you put it out there, you said it. I mean, but then at what point does it turn from being, content to data? And I think that there's a fine line there. And I'm conflicted on this one because it could be that you wanted to see how much one particular user is interacting with you. But you can actually do that, right?
Yeah.
That it does tell you, it gives us, how is the phrase? Is it
it just says person, person one, person two. So you can see you can definitely, once you export your chat, you can say, okay, so person one was my most active chatter because he or she submitted like 90 comments versus other people did like around 40. However,
ET is our person today, right?
ET, right, right. No, I think it's one of those things that it would be fair to make it very clear to your chatters, like what they are doing, that, we will take these chats, we will store your name with it. But then again, like that adds up complexity in like, how do we get this consent from them? So that's why it is anonymized. But good questions. Can we customize layouts? In Restream Studio, you can customize layouts by a lot. I
think this question was about the vertical stream.
But the vertical stream, yes. So what happens in vertical stream is we automatically adjust it, which again frees up a lot of your time, so you don't have to worry about being cropped in the middle or being cropped in a weird way. So if you look at our streams vertically right now, even on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, you can check us out on TikTok, or I believe our vertical ones are only on TikTok and YouTube. So we adjust it automatically. However, there are some customizations that you can make to chat. So you can make different shapes, you can move things around a little bit, but it is going to be adjusted automatically. So you cannot necessarily move things on your vertical version completely independently from your landscape version, if that makes sense. Really good stuff.
Yeah, it's a case of sort of finding the layout that works best with the content that you are presenting, because of course it has to react. Not all media that you bring in is going to be either 16:9 or 9:16. You might be sharing a screen share that is a really odd shape, or a video, an image or something. So it's a question of having to sort of find that line between, it working on both screens and so on and so forth. So it is a challenge to make sure that it is all dynamically reacting in a way that is beautiful, and that's what we're aiming for.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, there was another question here. So quick question about Instagram. Will there be a time when we don't have to copy the stream key every time we go live? When Instagram makes this part of their API, that will be the time. So keep bugging them and asking them for that. It's not up to us. We would love to bring it in, make it one simple toggle. But for now, that is how the integration is built.
Take it up with Zuck.
Yeah, right. Okay, so this is a good one. Wait, I can do clips where I'm live? Oh my God, I want to do that. Yes, so that is a big release from last week. We tested it already, and we are going to have a dedicated stream for that next week. So if you want to see it in action, tune in next Wednesday. All right, How long do clips stay in storage? They do stay there forever. They go into like clips projects, right? Like, so they're not necessarily living in storage, but the clips that you generated live in your clips projects for as long as your account exists. The recordings do expire. The recordings have 30 days, like your full stream recording will expire in 30 days. But if you already made clips from it, then those projects will stay in your clips section forever, which is a great hack how to preserve your recording without constantly downloading it. Just clip it, right? The best parts will be there. Yeah, I love that. Will there be a live stream next week or a video posted? So yes, live stream happens every Wednesday. So next week we'll be talking about live clipping. This video, of course, will stay as a replay, so you can watch it again. We also do little shortcuts, best of, so you get like all the gist of it. So basically 10-minute kind of cut down of the main topic and the best questions. So you can watch that too. And every single live stream that we make becomes a ton of shorts. So you can find those as well. Very cool. Do you guys sponsor video creators? We do. We are actively looking for people who will be creating UGC, user-generated style content. We're looking for people who will create vertical videos for us and who will be interested in collaborating with our marketing team on turning those into sponsored and boosted pieces like ads. If you want to create this content for us, reach out to our support, ask to talk to Anya, and I will direct you to the right people. I don't personally run ads. I'm a product marketing person, but I do work directly with people who do run ads, and we can happily connect you. So if you're making great content and you want to create some cool stuff for Restream, we're ready. I would love to see what you can do. All right. So I've been using Restream, so basic, and it helped me my coaching brand. This is so awesome to hear. But I'm about to really start using this even more. I love this platform, love the record and make it a live feature. Yes, so we call it upload and stream. So basically you can take any video that you record either in Restream platform or using any other professional software and upload it into Restream, and then you can schedule it to appear as live. There are tons and tons of benefits of that. First is that you can be live at the time zones and during the times when you are physically not available. Perfect for holidays, perfect for just simply times off, or capturing the time zones that are not typical for you. Like if you're, for example, located in Europe, but you want to capture a lot of American viewers, for example, it's just easier for you to record something and post it during the peak times in the US instead of staying up very late. As a person who spent some time last summer in Europe, to even like sync with somebody in California during like their morning hours, you really have to skip dinner. So
I didn't see you for like 2 months.
It's difficult to like actually do the live thing. So that's where upload and stream comes in, and it's perfect for that. It's also perfect for kind of like polished live, if that makes sense. I embrace the messy of live streaming. I embrace the fact that I'm going to mess up some words, make grammar mistakes, say something weird, not read the names of our chatters correctly, embarrassingly incorrectly. To be more clear.
Forget the word disposal.
Yeah, forget the words and so on. But some streams have to be better than that, right? Like if you are Apple and you are launching a new iPhone, you kind of still want to be live, but you want to be really, really polished and really clear. So that's the opportunity for you to actually edit out all the weirdness and just kind of stick to the most important stuff, and then still get the benefits of live, which is this tag that appears around your channel, like this is live, this is real, the interaction, the chatters, the algorithm promoting.
Push, yes.
Exactly. So all of that stuff, also notifications, if you have followers and subscribers, whenever you go live, a lot of times it will be just like, hey, this channel is live. So there's a lot of promotion and push for that type of content, but you can still edit it out and make it look really good. And last but not least is technical stuff, right? Sometimes you have to go live, but your internet is not great. Maybe you are struggling with technology, and today your computer is just not cooperating. By uploading that video on our servers in our storage, it allows you to then schedule it to go live. And then whether you have your internet or not, whether your computer is with you or swimming in the river, it doesn't matter. The stream will go live from our servers into your communities and channels. So good stuff.
And you can take a break as well. Like burnout's real. You can pre-record when you have the energy, and you can take a break and send it out. I mean, we use this for internal meetings. We record internal meetings. We have conversations, and we can record things. It isn't only a live streaming platform. It's a platform that you can do all kinds of recording in, and then you can use that content for various other things. So I think that's an important point, that you can really bring the polish, not just live, but you can bring the polish afterwards too.
We have tons of creators who never go live on social channels. They create in the studio for internal purposes only. They record, it becomes internal meetings, internal updates, or sometimes it goes on through their websites or their servers, like internal communication tools. There's all kinds of ways.
I know a company that does media training, and they will use a platform like Restream, and it will be a case of actually giving that genuine live experience to people so they can feel that pressure. Because when you're seeing yourself, it's a very different experience to just like a Zoom call where you're down in the corner, or or a Google Meet. It's a different vibe.
Yeah.
But when you're seeing yourself in a studio, so for media training and things like that, and coaching, it's very, very useful. And if you're then you and I actually had meetings with people where we just met in the studio, we recorded the whole thing, and then you and I are able to go back and chat about our shorts generation or whatever, and comb through the transcript and be like, oh, that was really key, oh, I missed that at the time, like it's so there are, and then of course you can use that content and polish it and broadcast it live on whatever schedule that you want, which is, I'm repeating the point that you made.
No, it's really cool. Yeah, definitely. Is it easy enough to set a test stream, since I'm a newbie and I want to make sure I know how everything works before I do a promoted event? Yes, absolutely. It's very easy. You can create a draft studio. You can add test channels if you are not comfortable to go on your major brand channels. You can connect your own. I test on my personal YouTubes and my personal accounts all the time. It's very easy to kind of like get this figured out. And you can also reach out to our 24/7 support. And a lot of times those folks will test for you and with you. So if you need someone in the chat or something like that, you can basically reach out to us and I'll be like, yeah, sure, I'll jump in your chat. I'll send you a message to make sure that your chat works.
I mean, a Google account is basically free. You can always just set up a Google account, or you can stream to a YouTube channel in private mode. And so it will go there. It will be exactly, it's connecting to the actual account.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not visible.
I just thought of one last point about the upload and stream thing, and that is, not everyone that uses Restream has fabulous internet. As you had said, it's very easy for us to all forget that we are in places of the world where we have the luxury of really good, stable internet. And in fact, Restream is used all over the world in places that are pretty remote. And therefore, in those places, they can use a local recording, and then they can send it out live by uploading it into our system. And as you said, it means that it will be a rock solid transmission, because not everywhere has perfect 24/7 internet or even power, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I just wanted to make that point. We're very fortunate, and we should
absolutely
realize that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the internet speeds and qualities vary. So that's when upload and stream comes in. That's what I always recommend for if you're trying to stream from like hiking or things like that. Just record videos on your phone and then schedule them to go live. It's not going to be immediate as you are hiking the mountains, but then it appears as live just a little bit later when you have internet connection.
You can still interact. You can
still interact
live
with chat. Yeah, absolutely. Totally. Good afternoon, everyone. Shout out to Restream support. Always great. Circuits FM. Really true. Could not have said it better myself. They are superheroes. I have a question about QR codes in our lives. Can we get it to be movable on the screen in the future? I love the QR code and I wish I could move it more. Yes, that's a great feature request. I know that there are a lot of things that are sort of like free mode movable right now, including chat overlay that we demonstrated earlier. So I don't see why QR code wouldn't be. It is something to add to our ideas.restream.io. And of course, keep upvoting that. It is possible. I don't see how that's, it's just not something that a lot of people requested earlier. So if you keep requesting and upvoting, we will definitely get to it. Great question and great request. Is there a way to track analytics growth for a specific stream from one of the hosts? So the best way to do that, so when you go to your analytics, it basically compares all of your streams within one account, and you can also look at the specific stream at the one specific event, right? And like see all the information there. The best way, if you have multiple hosts using the same account, the best way to separate them is to create workspaces, right? So you create different workspaces, and then within that one workspace, the streams will be comparing with only history of that host per se, right? You can also compare, you can also look at the stats of the specific stream. So I think it would be interesting to hear like how your setup looks. So basically how many hosts you have and what are you trying to compare? You're trying to see only kind of like the trajectory, the growth and the results and the improvements of one specific host, then just give them a separate workspace. If you're trying to compare hosts to each other, then you might need a little bit more trickery in terms of like how you name those streams, because you can't compare all the streams in the analytics against each other, right? In terms of times, right? Like the 30 days, the 60, the 90 days, and so on, up to a year. But if you really want to isolate someone's content, then the workspace would be the way to go. Oh my God, I'm so interested. Can you say the name to reach out to for the sponsorship? We're using Restream for AI content competition series. You can reach out. You can find me. It's Anya Rezina, and you can find me on LinkedIn or X. And you can also reach out to our support and just mention Anya, Anya. Good stuff. Will you add the option to record only in free accounts, or just the audio in free accounts for people who just want to a podcast format? So if you, on the free plan, we allow up to 15 minutes of recording, I believe. So that's not a lot, but that's what you can do either with camera or without camera. Starting from our standard plan, which is $16 a month, you can record audio only. So you can remove your camera. And Charles, are you ready? We can do that.
I was about to, yeah, you do it, yeah.
You can look like this. What about you?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were about to do it.
Yeah. I was going to show.
I hid the camera. I pressed the wrong one.
Yeah, we need to. just click V. Exactly.
I haven't put my avatar.
Yeah, you don't have an avatar. But this is how your audio only podcast format could look. And you can, here we go. Oh, wow. Good one. So yeah, you can easily, you can stream in this way, and you can also record in this way. So basically, podcast only formats are possible. But if you are recording longer than 15 minutes, you will need that standard plan.
Look at the way it reacts. I love that.
Yeah,
Bum,
I love the pulsing.
Bum.
Yeah. So if you're doing some like very musical stuff, it's gonna look good too. Love it. How are you two connected on call with high quality from cameras, but streamed from separate devices? This puzzles me. I'm trying to sort out on our own stream. Do you want to take this one?
Okay, so just technically, what are we doing here? We both have reasonably nice DSLR cameras, both of which you can take an HDMI output from into a capture card, and then that capture card goes into your computer. So the capture card is taking the image or the stream, the signal from the camera, and turning it into what the computer thinks is a webcam or a video source, and then that will just appear as a video source in your studio. So that's really all there is to it. There are things that you need to know about, using a DSLR, and that it's not just buying the camera. You'll need a lens and things like that. You and I both have cameras that have what we would call a large aperture, which gives us a shallow depth of field. So it gives this blurred background, but this is a genuine, like if I move out the way, my camera might try and find focus in the background. It's blurred in camera. It's not a plug-in, or it's not the computer doing that fake blurring, which is why it looks so nice. I also have a Pro Mist filter, which gives a sort of, you see I've got this slightly kind of washed out look, which I like. It's less contrasty. Does that answer the question? It's, there's an investment in the technology here. I also have you'll notice that my sound is pretty good. I am using AirPods, but actually I have a microphone right here, which is 12 inches away from me. It's a shotgun mic, not a particularly expensive one, that's going into an interface that again, it's turning this analog signal into a digital signal that comes into my computer. So then the Restream can see that as a source. And
Yeah.
it's putting those two signals together and presenting it to you. We did a stream on this, which is probably worth
the
looking
gear.
in.
Yeah. If you find there are two of them, Gear Stream 1 and Gear Stream 2 is when we go through our whole gear package and how that works. I do, of course, in terms of Mike's love and appreciate my SM7B, and my camera is FX2. That's Sony's full frame with a Sigma lens. I believe I'm using the zoom one. But we do have a whole stream that talks about that. In terms of how we are connected, even though we're like from different places, Restream handles it pretty well in Restream Studio. So basically, Charles is based in San Francisco. I'm based in Austin, Texas. And as you can see, we are, feels like we're in the same
no lag
room.
whatsoever. Like it's like you are and I are sitting next to each other. It's really amazing. One thing I would say on the technical thing is get your lighting sorted first and soundproof your room. Soundproof your room with. I have curtains and I have. I literally have right next to me. I have moving blankets that I just deaden the room. You know, all of these things dotted around will stop echoes and reverb in your room. The lighting, I have a giant light with a softbox with it's got soft filtering on it that gives it very flattering. And you'll notice how it's darker here because I've got the light almost 45, about 15 to 45 degrees offset from the front. It's not right in front of me. There are little things. There's tons and tons of tutorials online to help you out with this kind of stuff, and you'd be surprised at how small changes can really level you up.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think that it's important. Like the way that you look is important to sending out a message to how serious you are and the quality of your content. So although content is king, the way that you package that content is also quite important. And that's why we put a lot of effort into making the studio look the nicest of all of those studios that are now available. It's that making it a really pleasurable experience for you sets you up in the right mood. Wearing a collar, on your live stream, it's like going to an interview. It's armor. It's that packaging around you helps you give you that confidence. And so when you know that you're looking at a really great quality picture, that you're looking at a good quality picture of yourself, it's going to give you that confidence to really deliver a great show.
Very true.
There are nuances.
Lots and lots of details. All right. So my question is, so there's a clarification here. My question is more around the fact that you guys are obviously in different rooms, different buildings, and how you guys are connected. So that was literally what we covered lately, is that Restream Studio handles this pretty well. So definitely give it a spin if your guests are remote and far away. There is a question about including clips into the yearly price. So there are two things here. One is if you are asking if clips are going to be part of just the Restream plan package and not as an add-on. So I'm going to answer that first, and then we'll talk about the yearly pricing in general. So the reason why Restream clips are an add-on is because it is kind of like a selective type feature. It's going to build your own sandwich, and it is, tomatoes, maybe, or lettuce, or extra bacon, right? Like if you really want it, you can have it, but not everyone needs it. So we allow our creators to keep the cost within their budget and their expectations based on the things that they need, right? If we included AI clips or AI powered clips to every single package, the packages will go up. And for some people, that's going to be prohibitive. So the reason why we still allow them as an add-on is because we want to give you flexibility to decide whether this is super crucial for your channels, which we believe it is for most of the creators. But then we don't want to necessarily put that on every single pricing package. And basically, for people who might do without clips but would love to just stream with us, make it impossible or prohibitive for them to purchase the plans. Because AI processing of videos, especially long videos, is costly. And it does cost us quite a bit to create those clips. And then there's, of course, the technology that goes into framing and creating captions and translating those captions in 47, I believe, or 99 now languages. So there are a lot of different elements to it, and it all needs maintenance and it all needs infrastructure power. So that's why it is a costly feature for us to deliver, and that's why we charge for it as an add-on to give you the flexibility to choose whether you want to invest in that or not. Now, when it comes to yearly pricing for clips, currently clips are only adding on monthly. It helps a little bit with controlling the limits and to kind of like make sure that we keep that transparent and clear pricing structure that we talked about earlier. We do plan to bring in annual packages for clips. Absolutely. Yeah. So
I do so frequently that people are like, "Oh, I just want to pay for this separately." I don't know if I've ever heard someone say, "I want to do it all at once."
I want to do it all at once. Yeah. So that's one of those things. Like for some people, having this as an add-on is preferred. For others, they would like for it to be included. But yearly pricing for clips is very common request, and we are working on bringing that. So don't worry, it's gonna be possible. All right, a few more questions here before we wrap up. So there is a little feedback here on, yes, Restream does really good with people in other places. I have done it so many times when people will be in different states, and sometimes when somebody is in a different country, and that still works great. This is true because today my co-host is Charles. A lot of times my co-host is Matt, our product manager, who is based in Czech Republic, right, in Czechia. He's in Prague. We have very soon we'll have a stream dedicated to live clipping. This is going to be with our product manager based in London. And then after that, very shortly, Ask Me Anything with our developers. They are based in Lisbon. And you will see that it's still going to be really, really real time and great quality. So I'm very proud of how Restream Studio is handling remote participants, guests, and speakers. So you can definitely trust it. If we trust it, you can too.
There are always things that are out of our control, and your internet is one of those things. And that's why, it's always good to use a service that can handle all of this stuff and is not putting too much strain on your system. If you want to be multi-streaming, you can do it from plugins on other things, but it means that you're sending, multiples of the same stream, which is why this is going to look so great, is you're only sending one stream to one platform, which is then disseminated from there. So, that's one of the reasons why it works so well.
Yeah, absolutely. I love this one. It looks like you could reach other and poke each other. We do this thing sometimes.
Yeah. You hate it that I do the wrong hand.
No, it's fine. But it's just easier. It's just easier this way. Here.
Okay.
Bing.
We meant to save that for the end.
See?
We get that sound.
Clap. Yep. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Next time we should get our sardine camps like this mug and just basically pass it from each other. That would be really
that's
good.
a nice idea.
Yeah,
I've got.
Well,
my
you don't have
today.
the exact. Okay, so see, but imagine if I could, like, if this was the exact same mug, I could have carefully passed it to you, and you would have picked it up from there. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's not the same. Yeah. It's not going to work now, but it will. It will work.
Fun, though.
It will work next
it
time.
Changed.
Ta-da! It just went through. Yeah, exactly. All right. As we are wrapping up, a few more things to prepare you for the next week. Next week, we are talking about live clipping. So that's the topic that came up a few times today. We are going to have a full dedicated stream to talk about how live clipping works, how it is priced, how you can work with your co-producers to create them while you're streaming. And we will be live clipping our own show and posting those clips as we speak. My co-host will be Romario, who is the product manager on Restream Clips. So stay tuned for that. And definitely it's one not to miss if you are doing short form content. Right after that, we will have a conversation about our new developer portal. It is already available and you can already use it. So we basically opened out our API to creators, to developers to build a lot of things on it. There are different workflows and different opportunities, including working with our clips, working with our channels, working with our storage scheduling. There's a lot of different ways how you can build in Restream into your workflow. But we will have experts to talk about that. We will have Ask Me Anything with Restream developers. That's 2 weeks from now, April 8th, I believe. So don't miss that one. If you are a developer, a builder, a product manager, if you're working at a tech company, that is the one that you would want to make sure you see, because that's really good stuff. And if you already want to check it out and see what's there, read the documentation and see what's available, check out developers.restream.io or scan that QR code, build on Restream API. And I would say this is probably that's the wrap. Let's see if we have any other super last minute final questions. If you want to share some extra love in the channel, in the chat, do it right now, as we are going to say our goodbyes. And thank you so much for hanging out with us today, for asking really good questions. Multiple times our co-producer Becca today was like, so many great questions. Guys, stay on the questions. So it was really a pleasure to talk to you guys, to take your questions, to take your requests. Your time is super valuable, and you choosing it to spend with us today is just super important to us. We will be live again next week. Hope to see most of you. Big thanks to Grant, our moderator today in YouTube. He handled a lot of questions, shared a lot of helpful links, and just kind of managed everything. I wish we could take every single question and every single moment, every comment, but we occasionally have to, we have to skip some. So Grant was helping with a lot of those. We appreciate.
You know what? You don't shy away from the difficult questions. I really admire that. I love that.
Why? Why? What's the point? The whole point of life is that we are here, we're real, we're authentic, and we want to take questions that are meaningful for you. Pricing questions are meaningful. Limits questions are meaningful. Future plans and what you can expect from our platform. Those are all very meaningful questions, and we love them. So that's why.
I'm not knocking it. I just think it's kind of rare. I think it's wonderful.
No, I think it's wonderful. And whenever we don't physically have time to answer them, that's where our moderators come in. And Grant is a superhero. Thank you so much, man. You rock as always. Our co-producer today is Becca. She is awesome. She was helping us with chats, scenes, and just pretty much everything. Checking if we're live on channels, making sure we sound good. Big shout out to her. And of course, to our whole Restream team, to studio engineers and product managers who make this studio wake up every day to create these tools for you so you can tell your stories and share them with your communities, grow your audiences, and just keep creating. Subscribe and like if you are on YouTube. Follow if you are somewhere else, and we will see you very soon. Thank you, Charles, for this.
It's been very fun.
It was always very fun. All right. Thank you, guys. See you later.